Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. I was off on Friday. I was in Las Vegas. Yes, Sin City. We're actually, the wife, my boys, we went to watch Syracuse play UNLV. For those of you guys know, I was born and raised in Syracuse. Huge Orange fan. And watch them take out number 23 UNLV at the Raiders Stadium. One of my son's friends is a coach at Syracuse. So we were able to get free tickets, which is always great. And believe it or not, we actually took care of business on the craps table with my boys and myself, my wife. We won a few bucks. That never happens. We had a free trip to Las Vegas, got the results we wanted, and then how about those Cardinals? Holy cow! Well, that's probably more the Niners than the Cardinals. Listen, this is all crazy. We said this was the year of chaos. Okay, the Cardinals have won 2 games. The Rams and the Niners. And they've lost all the rest of them. Not that they've only played 5, but still, they're 2. But why is this the year case? We never beat the Rams or the Niners. Like, never. It never happened. Matter of fact, last year, the Niners blew us out in both games. I think first time we'd beaten the Rams in, I don't know, like 15 games, something crazy like that. It's the year of chaos. It truly is. Shohei Ohtani, the Babe Ruth of our generation, and it's still not going to be enough. Anybody that beats the Dodgers, go Padres. Yeah, I know. That, preseason basketball, Bronny James was playing with his dad yesterday against the Phoenix Suns. I guess that's the first time in NBA history a father and son have taken the court together. All the distractions that you could possibly need because, well, let's face it, hurricanes are coming. World War III is coming. I thought Israel would strike over the weekend. They haven't done it yet. You know what? The longer it takes, the more nervous I get. Because if they were going to do something easy, they'd have done it already, right? I feel like they're going to do something. It's going to be bad. That's what I think. I could be. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be bad. This hurricane now, another hurricane. Here we go. Going right to Florida. It's already now a Category 4, and they're talking about it's taking this horrible, horrible, horrible path where it's going to be, it looks like a direct hit to Tampa. And they're saying, hey, listen, Tampa gets a lot, but it usually always is, it's to the right or to the left, right? And it never gets this direct hit. And the storm has gotten a lot worse now. They were talking Category 3. Well, that ended. Now it's already Category 4. That's supposed to hit, I think, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. So maybe Wednesday while we're on the air, we'll talk about it. And the sad part, FEMA's broke. They're talking about, do we need to get Congress back in session so they can get, I mean, how many more billions? I don't know. And again, how are they broke? Oh, that's right. They were using, FEMA money to house all the illegals. It's fine. Nobody worry. Everything's wonderful. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And I'm just going to say, we've been doing this, it seems like every single week. Everybody get ready. We got I'm going to call this the prepper sale of a lifetime coming up next. So be ready for it. If you're like, hey, I may need to use gold and silver to get things. Why do I got the feeling that these people in the Carolinas, the guys that have a little bit of gold and silver around, they're probably the ones getting things done. I'm just saying. Why do I have that feeling? So get ready for that coming up. Obviously, I missed the jobs report on Friday. What a number. Wow. 250-some thousand. I mean, that's so far above what everybody said. Here was the great thing about it. I saw this actually on Friday because I tried not to watch the news, but I had to watch some of it. The biggest increase in government jobs in U.S. history accounted for the job growth, this huge number. It shattered. It wasn't even close. Like, it broke. It's like, oh, well, it broke it by 50 jobs. Oh, no. Tens of thousands. Like, it was more. There's like 100,000 more government jobs than ever recorded in the history of America. And Jason, why do I have a feeling most of it was IRS agents? I don't know. I just have that feeling, right? I mean, obviously, they always have, like, the teachers come back and all that stuff, and they seasonally adjust that stuff. But when they looked at the actual non-seasonally adjusted numbers, never in American history has the U.S. government hired so many people all at once.
It seems to me that somewhere in our future, almost the entire country is going to be working for the government. Isn't that what happens in a communist country? Everyone works for the government, right? There's no free enterprise. Well, I said a lot in the early days when I was doing radio that the Federal Reserve, the central bank's wet dream is to have a Chinese-style government here in the United States. So, and that would be pretty much most of the country working for the government, which... Aren't we all working for the government when about 30 to 40% of it goes to taxes to pay for them? Aren't we really working for them already?
Boy, and the 10-year note, what happened? The largest jump in mortgage rates ever. We got so much to talk about. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason on this Monday. By the way, we're going to get CPI Thursday. Kind of a slow week this week in data. We'll have CPI, then we'll get PPI later in the week, Thursday, Friday. A lot of Fed talkers, but not a lot of economic data. Right now, looking at the markets, the Dow is down 150, the S&P is down 15, the NASDAQ down 70. The 10-year note, 4.025, so almost 4.03. Just one of the biggest. I want to say that mortgage rates took the biggest jump ever after Friday's jobs report. Remember, the 10-year note's been hanging around 3.7, 3.8, 3.6, right? 3.6 to 3.8. Now we're talking 4.02, and I'll just say this. The government here, I don't know what we're talking about. Helene, which we still don't even know. There's hundreds and hundreds of people still missing. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're probably dead. Right? I mean, at this point, it's been how long now? If you haven't heard from them, probably not the best situation. I know they're saying officially it's only a couple hundred dead. I think that number is going to get a lot worse. Incredible when you think about what the insurance companies are going to do here. Most of these people, they're going to get nothing, absolutely nothing in all of this. But the damage is catastrophic. They're talking about insured losses, because businesses and other things, right? It's going to be, I don't know, probably close to $100 billion. FEMA, I don't know how much money FEMA needs. They have none. And it's kind of odd because the new budget year started, right? It just started. How can you be out of money, right? I don't know, but they are. And, of course, here comes this one to Florida. You know what? I don't even know if home insurance is going to be worth it. By the time they're done, what are the insurers actually going to cover, right? That's going to be the end of the day. I guess, the only thing we'll cover is, I don't even know. I don't even, the funny thing is the name of the game is, you didn't have, I don't know, catastrophic event. Like some places I know that there was, you didn't have mudslide coverage. What? What are you talking about? Yeah, no. Yeah. Well, you didn't. It was the mud that did it. You didn't have that. It's most.
Joe, I was shopping for some homeowners insurance, because I got this massive uptick in the rate. The company I was using was going to take me from $2,500 for a year of homeowners insurance to $4,500. So I'm like, it's time to look. That's at least a take a look situation. But yeah, I clicked on a thing on an ad on an internet site. When those ads popped up, it's like, hey, we'll get you quotes. Well, I clicked on that, and unfortunately, it just sent my little bit of information, my address, my name, and they just sent it to all these insurance companies. So I got bombed with insurance companies wanting to give me rates. But when it comes to your homeowner's policy, there is a lot of stuff. They give you a book to look at. That's because there's a book of different things they can or won't insure you for. So some of the stuff, civil unrest. Like one insurance company was calling me. I said, I think I chose who I want. They're like, well, do they have the civil unrest coverage? It's like if people with torches and pitchforks come through your neighborhood and destroy your house, they're not going to cover you. You literally have to have that on your policy, a civil unrest policy coverage. So yeah, insurance companies I think are not going to pay a lot of people because there is a lot of loopholes on these coverages now, Joe.
Lots and lots. Right now, crude oil is up almost $2, $76. Here we go. Brent crude $80 as everyone's waiting on Israel and what's their response going to be. Gold, depending on where you look, and we're doing this a lot lately because gold moves a lot in the after hours. Gold's down either $6 or $11, but either way, 26.43. Silver's off right now, $31.60. I'm telling you right now, you better get diversified as best you can, as fast as you can. The world stage here increasingly looking like, listen, it's record world debt everywhere. Not just here, it's everywhere. Taxes, boy. Chicago now. Hey, we're gonna charge people an extra 3%, and go in California. France says, remember, I warned you about France. Hey, we don't have enough tax revenue. We may have to raise taxes everywhere. Taxman's coming. Get diversified. I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't done it yet, if you've got $50,000 or more, like Jason said, at least call me. Here's the great thing. Why refi? Guess what they're not going to do? They're not going to send your information to everybody and their mother. Right? You don't have to worry about being bombarded with emails. Check these guys out. Up to 10.25% fixed rate of return, not correlated to Wall Street. Can't emphasize that enough. Not correlated to Wall Street. Doesn't care about the Fed. Doesn't care about CPI or PPI or government jobs or the IRS or anything else. You turn your income on. You can turn it off. You can compound it. There's no fees. They don't play games. They don't attack principal. They operate the way you'd want a company to operate. Check them out. InvestYRefi.com. That's the word invest, the letter Y, REFY.com. Or just call them at 888-YREFI24, 888-973-3924. And Jason, we're sitting here, we're waiting for the response from Israel. Obviously, it's the 7th of October. This is the anniversary here of what led to the conflict, now the ever-expanding conflict in the Middle East. By the way, Russia captured another town. Remember last week they captured one? Now they're like within 4 miles of essentially winning the war is the way it's being explained to me. But we'll see. This is going to get out of hand. The amount of spending, the amount of money being created out of thin air is going to be out of hand because guess what? The Fed is still going to cut rates. They may not go the 50. I don't know. That jobs number may have really threw them off. But they are going to be cutting rates. And then you get news like this. India. The highest gold imports in the last 42 months, but the highest gold imports ever for the month of August out of India, Poland. They keep buying gold. Matter of fact, Poland says, hey, We're on our way. We got 420 tons of gold. I think that got them into the top 20. But Poland announced, it's funny. They said that they want 20% of their currency reserves to be in gold. And it's interesting because the BRICS, right, they've been throwing around 40%. But, Jason, even 20% would be overwhelming. But this is another one of these key things. And, of course, Poland's like, hey, we got more gold than the UK. We're better than them, right? We've got more gold than a lot of countries. And I think people need to understand these are bets against the fiat money system. When we sit there and we look at these imports, these are huge bets against fiat money. This is what they're saying. Would you rather have fiat money? And guess what? They got their choice. They could have dollars. They could have euros. They could have renminbis. They could have British pounds. Whatever they want. Swiss francs. You know what they're saying? Nah. We'll take the gold. And by the way, I've been warning you about silver now for the last couple of weeks. It is right on the precipice. But a major announcement out of Russia over the weekend. I don't know if people saw it or not, but Russia is preparing to create. We used to have a silver stockpile. Bill Clinton sold it all. Russia now says that they have plans to allow to start buying silver and add it to their stockpiles in 2025, 2026, and 2027. Russia saying that they'll be buying palladium, platinum, and silver along with gold to continue to diversify their assets. And Jason, this has a lot of people now talking about, is Russia by itself going to drive silver to that $50 price target? Because this is something the markets were not expecting, right? Already, we knew that we were going to have huge silver shortages, but now Russia's saying, hey, by the way, guess what? We're going to make it worse.
Silver is definitely the most manipulated commodity on the planet. It's the only commodity that has not hit its record high. I know silver spiked twice, so silver kind of is near its high if you take out the two spikes. But, I mean, Joe, I think I mentioned it last week once or twice that before a lot more attention been paid to, chemtrails, right? A little fact I read, my wife put these little flyers together when I first joined Patriot, and I was always selling gold and silver before I joined Patriot, but one of some fun fact, like silver is good for health, and it can clean things, and all the other, get solar panels. But one of the things it said before, and they don't admit to this anymore, but it's used in cloud seeding to change hurricanes. When you have hurricanes like what we're seeing now in the midst of a financial disaster that's getting ready to happen, it just gets the conspiratorial mind. It's like, how much silver do you need to cloud seed, right? And there's hurricanes. It's funny how Helene is H. They do these hurricanes by letters. IJKLM is M. Is it an M hurricane that's going to hit Florida?
Yes, it's an M hurricane. I'll get you
5 hurricanes in between Helene and this one.
It's Milton.
Yes. 5 hurricanes in less than a week just popped up, right, Joe? It's like, and I know hurricane season can get busy. I mean, I'm not going to go too far into that, but what is silver? How hard are they manipulating silver, and are they breaking it? This is what I think you're reporting, Joe, and that's what people on the internet are reporting. Is like, you can only manipulate to the point where there's none to have, and then it breaks. And when it breaks, what's going to happen? Is that going to be a rocket ship to the moon on silver? I mean, because, Joe, if it evaporates, if the supply evaporates, you could see $1,000 silver. Look, remember what happened to rhodium a couple years ago? You're selling it for $800 before I jumped on the air with you. Then what was it, $20,000 before it finally came back in their supplies?
Maybe the best pitch of all time, rhodium. It was like, I want to say it was in the 5s, and you get a rhodium bar for like $700, and I begged everyone to buy them. And we sold some.
I bought some. I bought
right?
some.
And Rhodia went to over 20,000, closed in, I think, almost to 30,000. Of course, now it's like, I don't know, 4,000, 5,000, something like that. But again,
look what it did when they couldn't get it. Look what it did. That
skyrocketed.
That trajectory could be silver, as far as we know, Joe. If it's out, it's out, right? Is it going to be where they can't get enough?
It will be. I have no doubt at some point here soon, and soon in the next, say, 18 to 24 months. I don't know when. We will have a squeeze where, things like Jason's talking about, you show up and silver's up $5. Come back the next day, silver's up $5. And Wall Street went, well, we're going to increase the margin calls or the margin requirements, because that's what they did the last time. When silver spiked to 50 the last time, they did the paper game. Here's the problem. This time, the paper game won't work because there physically isn't the silver there to make it happen. And so, Jason,
I think they'll do what China did. They'll do what China did. Remember what China did when nickel? Remember during COVID, nickel they just shut it off. They just shut it off.
Yeah, shut it off.
We'll see what happens when we open it.
The great prepper sale. Get ready to die. You're not going to believe. I don't believe it. We'll be back. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Monday. We're doing it again. Talking about the best pricing, below cost type pricing. Today, we've got 25 of these. That's it. So there's not that many. We've got 25 of these. First, you're going to get a roll of silver. 21-ounce Silver Eagles. $740. That's the cheapest price in the country. It's not even close. There's one company out there, they'll sell you a roll of culled silver dollars, which means they're messed up, right? They're just beat up and black and this and that. They wanted $780. If you bought 3 cases of them, they'd give it to you for $760. No, $740. Just so you know, cost on that, $700. Period. $700. So barely over cost. You're going to get 2 1-gram gold bars at below melt. Forget about below cost, below melt at $85 a piece. And then you're going to get 12 1-gram silver bars. By the way, all 12 1-gram silver bars, $15. You're going to get, think about this, you're going to get 20 Silver Eagles, 2 1-gram gold bars, 12 1-gram silver bars. So that's like 34 pieces in all, $925 takes it. $925 literally takes this thing, and if silver closes above $32, all of this would be below cost. I mean, this is what you're looking at right here. This is an incredible opportunity, and this is the best part. It doesn't even matter if you're a prepper or not. This is all about price. I mean, you're buying gold at below melt. You're buying silver the silver gram bars, that's below cost. The Silver Eagles, I mean, we're closing in because guess what? Silver just keeps coming back up again here. By the way, here comes gold. $26.50 coming right back up again. Get in on this already. Here we go. The lines are already going. 800-951-0592. Again, 800-951-0592. Just tell the girls, I want the special. And all they're going to say is, how many would you like? It's just that simple, Jason.
$925. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
$925. So one roll of Silver Eagles, 20 ounces, Silver Eagles. 2 1-gram gold bars These are coming from those breakable bars that we have sometimes. And then 12 1-gram silver bars. These are little tiny guys, right? I have them in full bars, but we want to, we're going to break these down because we have very little of the grams, so that's why we're breaking this down. But if you wanted one of the full sheets of the silver 1-gram bars, you'd have to buy 9 of these packages. So if you buy 9 of these packages, you'll get at least 1 sheet and 8 extra 1-gram silver bars. So if you buy 9 of these packages, I'm just going to slide you one of those. It comes with 100 1-gram silver bars in the sheet. If we would have had a whole bunch of these, we would have sold the sheets out.
Right, we'd have sold them by the sheets, but we don't.
So I know that's a heavier price. 9 times $9.25. You can see you'd be putting together quite the package. But we have customers that'll do that, Joe. So if you want to buy 9
it's only
packages,
$8,300. I say only. It's only $8,325. You'll end up with a whole.
We can only do 2 of those, and we can only do 2 of those because we only have 300 1-gram silver bars. That's all we've got. So we can only do 2 of those packages if you wanted to get the whole silver bar attached in one piece. So
listen, I think the silver is a steal. Like I said, I did the research. I went and looked everywhere. Right? Nobody is selling you a roll of Silver Eagles for $740. Listen, we're $785, and we're like right there as the cheapest around. This is $2.25 an ounce under that, right? And then you look at the grams, both the gold gram and the silver grams. Those are both below cost. You can't buy these things at these prices. Jump on this thing, 800-951 0592, and I'll just say this: it's an all-out silver buy. If you're sitting there saying, "Okay, what's the play of the day?" It is silver by far. I keep telling you, I fully expect to see silver with a 4 in front of it before 2025 ends. And here's the problem: that could happen any day. I don't know when, right? The announcement out of Russia today saying, hey, guess what? We're not just going to buy gold for our reserves. We're going to buy silver. We're going to buy platinum. We're going to buy palladium. And as you know, silver and platinum have big deficits. The difference is platinum's deficit is just starting. So they have some excess supply. They'll be out of that soon. Silver, they don't have any more excess supply. We know what China's doing. We know what Russia's now saying, hey, we're going to be doing even more than that by adding it to the currency reserves. And it's something, Jason, I think this is a big deal, much different than the last time. I want to point that out because silver spiked to $50. What was it, 2011? Something like that. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but why did silver fall? In 3 days, it went from 50 to 35. It was down lock limit 3 days in a row. Simply because the COMEX changed the margin requirements for all the paper guys. You had to pay more money to be long silver on paper. And you couldn't go long, and all you could do was sell. Here's the difference this time. There was plenty of silver stock back then. 11, what was that? Well, I guess almost 14 years ago. There's not anymore. There's no overabundance of silver. None. Matter of fact, remember last week we told you about Mexico, who by far, they're the largest silver producer in the world by far. Almost double what China does, and they're the second largest. Both countries saying we're going to be producing less silver no matter what happens. And usually what happens when the price goes up, they're like, oh, let's add shifts, let's do this. No, there's no shifts to add. There's no extra silver to add. Matter of fact, to the point where Mexico is talking about nationalizing their mines. $925. Listen, I don't know if they'll make it through the break. Get in on it. 800-951-0592. Jason and I, we're going to be right back after the break. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Monday. We still have some. Oh, here it goes. Here, phones are still ringing. We still have some left. The prepper special here. This is way below what you're going to be able to get this. I mean, you're probably looking at everywhere else over $1,000, but you're going to get a roll of silver, $740, cheapest price I could find. Not really, and really not really close. 2 1-gram gold bars at below melt. Forget about cost, below melt at $85 a piece. And 12 1-gram silver bars below cost. And quickly becoming, as silver keeps rallying back here, silver now $31.75, it's going to be below melt here pretty quick. But the whole deal, you get 32 silver pieces, 2 gold pieces, $925. That's all it takes. 800-951-0592. Don't wait. I know you want to hear all the show. I get it. But jump on it while you can. By the way, things are getting weird. Home Depot. Now, Home Depot, remember, they had bad earnings, said, hey, things have slowed down. Since late August, has put up nearly 4 million square feet of retail space for sublease. In other words, Home Depot's like, hey, we don't need this much storage. Nope. That's how slow things are getting. By the way, 1.3 million of that right here in Phoenix. They have a huge warehouse here that said, nah, we don't need any amount anywhere close to that amount of space. Jason, I think that's a big indicator of what Home Depot feels like is coming. Now, I don't know about all these hurricanes. You got to think Home Depot's loving it.
Yeah, well, depends on what kind of rebuilding is going to be happening afterwards, right?
True, right? Yeah, you can't rebuild anything.
So we'll see, but no money is no money, Joe, and if the insurance companies are going to have trouble making their payments, it's going to be a little slow in the coming for the rebuilding part, which should be a big boom for the home improvement stores. But I don't know, Joe. Things are. How about this? The emergency cycle is just going to get worse until this election's over, and then we'll see what the election or the emergency will be past that election. The real emergency is going to be what happens after the election. The Half Empty Cup of Joe should be a pretty good show today. We're going to really just ask a lot of questions today. And politics can be dirty, Joe. Politics can be so ugly and dirty.
Yeah, it really, it's turned into WWE, that is for sure. The latest, now listen to this, 87% of people expressing concern over food and beverage pricing, and I want to know, who's the 13% that isn't? That's what I want to know. Do they not shop? Maybe, right? Do they not go to the stores? By the way, I haven't seen it yet. Me and my wife, we're empty nesters now. So we go to the store a lot more now, and we go together because it's just something to do. But when it's only 2 people, you don't want to buy too much because it'll go bad, right? So we end up doing like 2 or 3 little trips every week. And we just went yesterday. Everything is a fortune. It really is. I mean, we're now sitting there, and you're looking at, in the meat case, right? Like we're looking at these prices going, man. London broil, which is like the cheapest cut of meat you can possibly get, right? If you cook it right, though, it'll be pretty good. But it's like $30, and they've got like this huge chunk of meat, and I'm like, you know what? That we couldn't even eat that, right? That's too much. It'd be too much for just the two of us. Right, so Jason, it's stuff that even the cheaper cuts, usually they're in packages so big we can't eat that. Right, that's just too much food. Right, what are we gonna? I mean, we'll just throw it out. You know, and so it is crazy. But I was shocked that it was only 87%. I want to know. I want to talk to the other 13% that said they're not concerned about it.
Well, I think there's some people that are just plugged in and they just are not concerned about anything as long as they have the basic necessities in front of them and they're plugged in to whatever the powers that be are putting into their brain as they're watching their cell phone and their social media and their television. And some people, Joe, they're just not worried. They're not worried until an emergency is literally knocking on their door and ripping the door off the hinges. Some people just aren't concerned. And I appreciate people that don't get spooked easy and are not fearful, but you also got to kind of look around, right, Joe? I don't like huge surprises. I don't like the emergency bursting through my door and grabbing me by the throat, right? But on the other end, I don't want to be too fearful, right? So I think isn't there always just some people that are just floating around, don't know there's something wrong, even if it's right in their face, Joe, right? There's always somebody that's like, oh.
Maybe we should be more surprised that number's so low, that it's only 13%.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe we're looking at that wrong, right? That's how big this problem is.
I literally think there's Americans in this country that if you have a knife to their throat, they're probably like, yeah, it'll be all right. Right, Joe? There's some people, a gun to the face. Yeah, you're not really going to shoot me, you know? Even if the guy says, I'm going to shoot you. I think that there are people. That's why you're right, Joe. I'm sort of surprised, but I'm sort of not by those numbers.
Yes. Well, when we wrap up, we're going to talk about the IRS. They're going after you big gambler winners. That's coming up next. You should see the pitiful amount they're trying to get. We'll be back. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason wrapping up the program on this Monday. Going, but not gone. We still have some of these prepper specials. Get on it here. This is a great opportunity to not only listen. These 1 gram bars, they cost a fortune.
Yep.
They're the most expensive way to buy gold and silver. It's not even close. So expensive. And we're in here below cost, below melt. These Silver Eagles, it's the best price anywhere. You get 1 roll of Silver Eagles, 1 gram gold bars, and 12 1-gram silver bars. It's only $925 at 800-951-0592. The IRS says they're going after all these big gambling winnings that people may or may not have reported on their income. How much are they looking to get here? I mean, I was just in Vegas, right? I don't win anywhere close to big money, but are they getting $100 billion, $200 billion? I mean, right? I'm imagining we're going after some big money. No, $1.4 billion. Okay. We've literally probably spent $1.4 billion during the show, the government. I mean, that's how little $1 billion is. But, yep, they're getting after you. They say, Jason, there could be 139,000 of you that may not have reported your gambling winnings. And the IRS says that it's coming after you. Anybody that won more than $15,000, by the way, to get to the $1.4 billion, that's 3 years. worth of people. They're getting 2018, 2019, 2020. So FYI, this is, don't worry, they didn't hire all these IRS agents to not go after the little people. Why do I get a feeling that the vast majority are not the millionaires and the billionaires that they promised us they were going to go after, Jason?
Yeah, to hire an IRS agent, you have to validate the salary, right? So whatever that person's earning, they got to at least bring that much revenue in or more per year, right? So if they have to come after it nickel and dimes, so to speak, and hit all the small people, if that's the most successful route, that's what they're going to. That's how it works. I mean, the police officer doesn't pull over the guy that's going 8 miles an hour over the speed limit. It's a 1-point ticket and a small fine. As soon as you're 11 miles per hour over the speed limit, it's a 4-point ticket and triple the fine, right? They're going to get what's the target-rich environment, and that's average, middle class, and poor people, right? That's the target-rich environment. Yeah, you can go after a big billionaire, but you know what? That guy's got a fight on his hands, and now you had to bring the lawyers into it. The IRS doesn't want to deal with lawyers. They want to come in, hand you a bill, say, pay us, and walk out the door and say, if you don't pay it, we'll send someone to put you in shackles, right?
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
Right?
That's the easiest way. It's the easiest way to get money is just to tell someone you're going to go to jail if you don't pay.
They're hiring them for a reason. I don't know if you saw Illinois now looking to slap another 3% tax on the millionaire class as they continue to run out of money. Hungary now saying its central bank is going to continue to add to its gold reserves, saying they've increased the reserves by more than 10 times since 2018, and say they continue to add to their gold holdings. Continue to add to yours. The great prepper sale. I'm shocked they're still not all gone yet, but they're going to be. They won't make it out of today. $925, 800-951-0592.